Previously, I made a video where I expressed my gripe with Ulpianus' kit, that being his first talent. My criticism is that since it functions as a flat damage-based reduction, it provides a form of survivability that I don't believe the Crusher should have, that being what I call defense-based survivability. I don't like it because it goes against what I feel are the design principles of Crushers. A lot of people weren't happy at me, and some didn't seem to get the point I was trying to make. I wasn't trying to argue anything, I was expressing my feelings, something so very subjective. Yes, Hodor has pseudo-resistance, but that complements what Crushers already excel at, rather than trying to supplement an issue that mainly exists as a balancing mechanism. So let's do the math. Is my criticism correct? Does Ulpianus break Crushers? Normally, Ulpianus reduces 100 damage every time he takes a hit. Hodor reduces 18% of the damage he takes, meaning in order for Hodor's talent to be more effective, they need to take at least 555 damage. However, if Ulpianus is below 50% HP, this number jumps to 888 damage, which at that point, Hodor only becomes better when dealing with enemies Crushers are already good against, where Ulpianus' main damage reduction comes from peons. If we take into account their modules, it actually drops to 750 damage. Hodor's module is so good it makes Ulpianus' module worse by comparison. And yes, I am taking into account the trait change too. So yeah, typically Hodor's talent is better against slower, heavy hitters, where Ulpianus' talent is better against rapid, flat damage, which is what I feared, and it seems to be quite significant too. 800 attack is definitely a threshold between small and big enemies. Hodor's talent makes Crushers better at being Crushers, where Ulpianus' talent makes Crushers better at not being Crushers. Okay, so let's put it to the test. In practice, does Ulpianus break the Crusher subclass? Oh wait, it barely does anything. Yeah, it turns out 100 defense at worst and 160 defense at best does not work very well against spam in the slightest. When your defense is on par with Melantha, yeah, it's not going to change much. Unlike Ulpianus, Hodor does have skills that heal him, and against spam, both of them do perform quite similarly. Even on S2, Hodor's stun is capable of giving him a bit of breathing room against his attackers, and although Ulpianus' S2 does boost his talent, going from 100 defense to 200 defense after over a full minute ain't gonna be that useful all the time. Ultimately, I had overestimated the power of Ulpianus' first talent and had unjustly criticized him for it. Now, I'm still not fully on board with it. Powerful or not, I still don't like what it represents and the message that it sends. But after using him, I have found this talent to not only be really interesting and useful, but something that, dare I say, plays into the Crusher subclass identity. Although for physical damage, the talent is quite negligible. Non-physical damage is where it shines, mainly damage over time effects. DOT effects typically exist in arts and true damage, like Netherseed Brand, Necrosis Burst, or Tala's DOT. And when dealing with non-physical damage types, HP is what really matters when it comes to sustainability. Already Crushers were good at dealing with DOT, but Ulpianus takes us to a whole nother level. Everyone at this point knows how he interacts with Poison Fog, it's no secret, he's basically immortal. But a similar interaction plays out with basically any DOT effect or rapid arts damage, such as the Chapter 14 Pollution, Chapter 11 Corruption, literally just directly counters these fuckers, also counters these fuckers. Damn, he's really good in Chapter 11, isn't he? Necrosis inflicts arts DOT, so he's good at dealing with that. Netherseed Brand, as stated before, is appropriately no threat to him besides the nervous impairment. You can deploy him on active Originum tiles with minimal, if not non-existent life loss. And like I said, Talala's true DOT. Sadly though, it doesn't trigger on Warfare's S2. Bummer. This list ain't exhaustive, but you get the point. Ulpianus' first talent doesn't really function as a means of making him more susceptible to spam. Rather, instead, it helps him primarily against DOT effects. So in the end, I ended up finding Ulpianus' first talent to be both appropriate for the subclass while also fulfilling a unique niche. Well, almost. If Hypergriff is listening, which, you know, they totally are, I'm practically Mr. Beast over here. If all you do is make it so Ulpianus' talent only activates on Arts, Elemental, the damage type, not the bar filling up, and true damage, then I would have no issues with him. Ulpianus at that point would be exactly what a Crusher should be, and in a unique and interesting enough of a way to differentiate himself from Hodor, while also playing into the subclass's strengths really well. And for Gladia, I don't really care, to be honest. I'm more interested in seeing how Ulpianus performs as a Crusher than as an Abyssal Hunter. I'm sure there's loads of content out there talking about just that, but if you're on my channel, you know we're here to talk about Crushers. Yeah, Gladia makes him busted, and frankly, I'm just not interested in upgrading another 6-star just to make Ulpianus even stronger. I'm fine with how he currently is, fighting side by side with Hodor. So remember, there are no bad operators, just fight for a cause, no matter if you lose. Love you all, and have a great day.